In this video, we're going to be modeling a low poly trash can in Blender. It's a super approachable beginner project, a great way to practice clean shapes, simple details. You're going to have a great time. If you want to follow along, I would recommend that you check out our beginner project, our beginning project, our starter project for this, and it includes the texture that we're going to be using and kind of sets a couple things up, makes it easier to render, that kind of thing. So let's actually get rid of this cube. I'm going to hit Shift A, and let's go to Mesh Cylinder, and let's make this a little bit less. Let's do just 16. Great. We're going to make kind of one of those garbage cans you see around the school, the kind of Rubbermaid kind of trash cans. Let's do that. Let's just hit GZ, bring this up a little bit, and we're going to make this bigger at the top. So let's say 3 to get our faces and scale this up a little bit like that. I think that's going to work. GZ, make it a little bit taller. Yeah, something like that. And we want the lip around this thing. So let's you could do this a lot of ways. Let's just scale. Let's do a extrude like that. All right. And I can hit 3 on the keyboard and grab this edge by holding Alt. There we go. And then let's hit Alt E and extrude faces along normals like this. There we go. And we're just going to make that lip around the garbage can. I think that's going to work pretty well. Let's grab this edge right here, and let's scale this in a little more like that, and then extrude it down into the garbage can. There we go. And scale it down. There we go. So now we have kind of the main part of the garbage can there. That looks good. At the bottom, let's maybe extrude this out a little bit and scale it down, just so we have a little bit of a bevel there. That looks pretty good. Right click, shade auto smooth. There's our garbage can. So that's the kind of the main part of the garbage can. Let's also make some handles for this thing. I'll just make that using a cube. And so it's Shift A to add that cube, Tab, Scale, S for scale, and then let's G, Y, bring this out like this. And we want to make this just about the right size for kind of the radius of the handle here. So I'm just going to scale that down, kind of bring it up like here, something like that. You see what we're doing? And then let's scale this on X and make that a little bit wider. Yeah, something like that. All right, great. There's our handle. And then let's grab each side here and extrude it along normals. Alt E to bring up this, and then extrude along normals. And then we'll bring this out just a little. Good. And I'm going to select each of these little faces right here. This little face and then that little face. And then extrude that in like this. Yeah, something like that. Let's grab the bottom edge here on each of these. And then GZ, bring it down a little. Good. And let's maybe take these edges and bring them up a little bit. GZ. There. Yeah. Yep. And let's shift, select these, GZ. Yeah. So that's kind of our handle, something like that. You could make that softer if you want to, but yeah, we're trying to keep this pretty low poly, so that works. G, and then Y to bring this in and just kind of insert that into the can a little bit. That works pretty well, I'd say. I think that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Maybe just move it down a little bit like that. Make sure that we're actually touching this with each side here. GY, just bring that in. Make sure it's not cutting through the center. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Let's take this and mirror it. I'm going to go to our modifiers, add modifier, search, mirror. And we're going to mirror this along the Y axis. So I'll hit Y. And if we've been working in edit mode and the center of this is in the middle of the scene, that mirror is going to work great. I think this mirror is actually a little bit off. And so instead, I'm going to use mirror object. I'm going to select this and then click on the mirror object like that. That's going to make sure this mirrors perfectly across the axis of our cylinder here. Yeah, that works pretty well. Good garbage can. That's good. Do we want to make a top? Yes, we should make a top. I'm going to do a little fancy thing here. Let's grab this, hit tab. I'm going to grab this face right here, the inside face. And let's duplicate it, Shift D, and then bring it up like this. We'll just bring this up, scale it, and let's just make this as big as the top of this. There we go. GZ, bring it down. We're just wanting it to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, that works well. That's fine. Let's extrude this. E for extrude. Make it a little bit bigger like that. That's good. Yes, I love that. Now, we can have this actually sit on top if we want to, or we can just kind of fake it either way. If this is going to be low poly, we'd probably just fake it, something like that. And then let's actually grab this and then hit Control plus plus so that we're selecting that whole top. And I'm going to separate this actually. So let's hit P for separate selection. That's going to make this its own object. So in object mode, I can select this or this. There we go. And now, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much done unless we want to add a little bevel maybe. I'll hit 2 and Alt to select this whole ring. B, Control B for bevel. We'll just bevel that a little bit. Yeah. All right. And then let's maybe grab this bottom face and G, Z, bring that down. Maybe something like that. A for all, S for scale. Yeah. So there's our top if we want to. If we want to make this a little bit more detailed, GZ, bring this up, select this, I for inset, bring it in a little bit, E for extrude, and we can kind of make that an actual top like this that kind of sits down on there. And that works pretty well, I'd say. It works pretty well. If we want a handle for the top, we could model that. But I think I'll probably just even get rid of this top because I like it just like that. I think that's going to work pretty well for, you know, a prop, something like that. And I like it. I like it. Let's grab this and let's apply this mirror. Go over to our modifiers, this drop down and hit apply. And I'll select both of these and hit Control J to join them together. Now, let's go to the UV editing and look at this down the x-axis. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell Blender how we want to look at these UVs, how we want to map this texture, this rainbow texture onto this. And we actually don't have it applied, so I'll go down here to our material and make sure that we have our rainbow material on there. And you might be asking, why the heck are we doing a rainbow material? Well, we're going to use this to kind of colorize parts of this. And you can reuse this on everything in your scene if you have like a low poly scene, and everything can use one texture. It's pretty cool. So I'll make sure that I'm in face mode. I'll hit 3, A to select all, go up to UV and say project from view. That's going to take a little snapshot of our side here. And I can go over here to our texture and S for scale. And then I'll bring this over and just kind of scale this down to all be on this little gray part here. I'll even S Y to scale this on Y. And that's going to give a little bit of variation from the top to the bottom, a little bit brighter at the top than at the bottom. There we go. That's a nice looking garbage can. Now, if you've experienced garbage cans like I have, what a sentence. Some of them are yellow. I can hit G, kind of bring this over and make it a yellow garbage can or an orange garbage can or whatever, maybe a light orange, whatever we want to do. The world's your burrito here. You can really do whatever you want when it comes to this, and it has that nice kind of fade, which always looks really nice. Yeah, so I think that's really great. I think let's, just for the render, let's make this, I don't know, maybe kind of an orange. Yeah, nice orange garbage can. That's cool. Let's render this. Let's go back to our layout and let's make sure we're looking at our textures here. This looks really good. I'm going to go up here to our outliner under this filter and click on this computer monitor. Make sure that is on, and we'll click on that. There we go. Now we have this all set up with our studio here. And let's just scale this maybe and rotate it a little bit on Z. There's our garbage can. That looks pretty cool. In fact, I might even take our camera and I'll just select our camera like this. I'll just make sure that our camera is selected and I'll lock this. And now I can kind of bring this up a little bit more. I think I want to look down into it a little more. Something like that. Yeah. Rotate this on Z just so we can really see what the heck's happening with this. Yes. Very good. Scale it. GZ. Make sure this is right on that ground. I think that's going to work great. And let's render it, baby. Let's render that. See what it looks like. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. It's a little bright, so we can change the lighting a little bit. Let's go here and see about our lights under our render stuff. And we'll maybe take some of this power down, like just take that down a little bit. Which is the one that's making it so bright? This one right here. Let's do like 600 instead. There we go. That's a little better. I like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be nice. Let's grab some of our lights here. Let's make sure that we can select them. I don't have the selection thing set here. So if I select that restriction toggle and select this light, let's just kind of put this way. See what that looks like. Ooh, yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better for sure. Very nice. All right, now we render it. That's going to be a good looking garbage can. Hey, thank you so much for checking this out. If you want to learn more about making things in Blender and doing modeling and all of that kind of stuff, the basics of Blender, I have a course called Blender 101. And if you like how I teach and you had a good time here, well, it's going to be a double good time. It's going to be amazing. So thank you so much for checking this out. And yeah, check out Blender 101 down in the description. Okay? See you later.